Last week we set up to do raised panel cut. Now we're going to try to do raised panel on a curve. So yeah, how about that? So first thing I did, I moved this power feed out of the way. I took the fence off of here. Now, in order to do that, we have to add a bearing to this for that to run on as we're cutting. And so we have a number of different bearings in here that we use for different cutters over the years. But this seems to be the one that is the right size for this cutter. Only it needs some bushings in here to fit on here. But I want to keep it as close as I can to this because later on we're only going to have about a 1/4 inch running on this, for the last raised panel cut. So I want this bearing to be down on here. So I'm going to take I want to take this off. I'm going to put this longer bushing in here so I can catch this bearing, and I'm probably going to put one on top of it, one of these bushings on top of it, and that long one will catch the bottom of the bearing. There we go. Now what we also have here, we have these nice little guards. This one's for a 1/2 inch spindle. These two are for the 3/4 spindles. They won't fit on here, but we do have one for this. Actually, I think it has one of the bushings on one side. I don't know.
It goes up that way.
They could go either way.
Go either way.
All right. So it gives you a little protection. You're not gonna. Makes me feel better anyway. When you have that freaking bit spinning around, it's scary. And so, only need 2 of those, so we can put this all together and be ready to go here.
That one washer have that little lock thing on it, or no? Just a washer?
Oh yeah, that's the key washer. You always put those last on any shaft you use it on the shaper for safety. I want to get rid of these extra things. I'll get rid of all these extra bearings. Extra bushings.
I've actually seen you use this as a guide. You put a smaller one on, keep it. Maybe I looked at it wrong.
No, they're not guides. They're just safety.
Just keeps it
Safety
from
shield.
flopping up.
It doesn't keep it from doing anything. It's a safety shield from getting
The bearing does.
slip and getting your hand cut. It's just it's just a safety thing. A little extra safety. It's a guard. All right. You don't have this there. You don't have the fence in the back. It's just open cutter.
Yeah.
Just a little safety guard. Now, what we need, you can't just take something and stick it in here, or you're going to have something flying at you. Now, since this bit is cutting this way, we're going to want to feed it right into the bit. If you go from this side, it's going to grab it and take off with it. So there's this tapered pin. So this tapered pin could either fit in here or on this side. If the bit was going the other direction, you have it here, you'd start from this side, but since it's bit's headed that way, we start from this side.
Just something to run your wood against?
Yeah, you can't just
Otherwise
put
that
something into this bit, it's gonna
No,
just,
it's gonna
it's
throw
gonna,
it,
it's
yeah.
gonna throw it.
Okay,
So you have to have the guide.
okay.
And so what you would do, you put this against that guide and you slowly move this into there until it hits the bearing. And once it hits the bearing, you can just run with it. All right. Now this was a big wing cutter, so we had moved the belt down right to the slower speed. It's still on the slower speed from last time. The two lower pulleys are the slower speed. Now I actually lowered this a little bit. You don't want to make this like we didn't make the first cut all the way. We would have to lower it or raise it a little bit to make this a 1/4 inch if we're going to put it in the cut for a raised panel. Why lower down a little bit? Because I really don't want to take too much off at once. That's not going to handle cutting a raised panel in solid wood, making a big cut all at once. We want to do it 2 or 3 cuts.
Same shit we did.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go here. So what you would do? Down a little bit, but we could try a little bit more maybe. I'll do one more cut, and then we're gonna quit. Almost as easy as I had it before. But that's it.
That's it, that's all there is to it.
Easy as that. Yeah, it's not rough.
So you could use this. So when whoever's using this, it's a good idea to get an idea. I mean, there's different size bearings that I don't remember what we all use them for. You know, that could be used for a number of bits in here. But that one specifically was for that raised panel cutter. We had ordered bearings in the past, special for different special jobs, so we could have them to do curves. But if something ever comes up, you're just going to have to figure out what we have and what we would need.
I still want to do an inventory
Yeah.
of
You
that
should.
drawer. I want to do it with John, do an inventory, organize an inventory of the drawers. So we know what we have and what we don't have.
I thought there was a bearing for, there should be one for doing, it should be I thought we had bearing for, doing these on a curve. Because the rail of the stiles and rails of the door might need to be curved, or at least the rail.
Arch pedal.
But that means the bearing would have to be the same size as the small cutter. That one, or this one here.
You can't find them or missing them or.
I don't know, we might have them here. I didn't
Yeah,
really
it might be
look.
in there, we just have to, like I said, do an inventory.
I don't know. Maybe that might be the same bearing as that one.
I think it is.
It might be. I don't know. Let me think. Any questions on that? Don't lose our tapered pin.
That's the only one we have?
Yeah, that's all we have. Only one. We only have that one.
I have these at home, but yeah, we don't want to lose it.
I've had it sitting in here all the years, so it hasn't disappeared.
Nothing moves from that.
No, nobody should be falling for anything.
Where's the lid, John? In the
So
drawer?
this is the drawer.
Pin? Oh, I had it sitting right here.
Right here.
And, yeah,
I don't know where the best spot for it is. Maybe I should keep it by the bearings.
It'd be a good idea.
I'm just gonna keep it by the bearings for now, but just don't flop it around and